All right, so for this episode, we're going to be talking about, and this is
Fake faces.
fake faces and fake bodies.
Hey.
Get ready for Real Talk with Pasha B in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, thanks for tuning in to this episode again of Real Talk with Pasha B. This is your host, Pasha B. We have a great topic to talk about today. And I am joined today by, again, everybody's homegirl, Sheneka.
Hey, Pasha.
I can't hear you, Sheneka.
Hey, Pasha.
Hey, Sheneka girl.
Is that better?
It is. It is. And Mark has joined us again.
What's going on? This is Mark Anthony. How y'all doing? Y'all calm right now. I gotta see where we at with this.
That's all right. We're about to get on this dry.
Deep voice.
We're gonna get on this dry wine. But as Sheneka, tell us about what we're gonna talk about today.
We're talking about plastic surgery.
Mm.
Plastic surgery, as you all just said, what, fake titties and
Fake
booties?
face women.
Oh, yeah.
Fake face.
And men, apparently.
We're gonna talk about plastic surgery as relates to men.
Mm.
Yeah.
All right. So to open this up, we need to differentiate because plastic surgery, there are subsections to plastic surgery.
Mm-hmm.
So, Real Talk with Pasha B, we look up to the wiki. Okay. So
you don't click the links.
Our friend.
You don't click the links in Wiki.
Wiki's our friend. So Wikipedia says plastic surgery is a surgical specialty involving the restoration, reconstruction, or alteration of the human body.
Mm-hmm.
It's actually divided into two categories. The first is reconstructive surgery, which is usually dealing with a medical need, craniofacial surgery, hand surgery, treatment of burns. And then there is the cosmetic or the aesthetic surgery. While reconstructive surgery aims to reconstruct a part of the body or to improve it, cosmetic surgery aims to improving the appearance of it. So we're going to talk about the cosmetic or the aesthetic surgery component of plastic surgery, where we're talking about the donks, the face, okay, and how that impacts, I'm going to say, people of color, because we're representative of a society of people of color. So we're not going to front. We all black. Ish. To some degree. So, 2017, do you think that plastic surgery is prevalent?
Who's me?
Anybody.
Yes.
Go deeper.
Go deeper.
Go deeper?
Yeah.
Well, I think it's more prevalent now, and it's becoming more prevalent as time goes on, just because, again, social media. Everything goes back to social media. Also, I think just having access. Before years past, I think plastic surgery was a luxury reserved for those who had money, the wealthy. Now it's more affordable. And if you have a little, good credit, decent credit, you can finance it. So I think that combination has made it more accessible for the average person.
So plastic surgery. From an aspect of like social shit, we got this image of perfection that apparently is being fed into. I think there's some false narratives out here about plastic surgery and the people who want it and things like that. But for the most part, by and large, my biggest issue is, are you correcting on your own what you can control prior to going to plastic surgery? And
example. So are you saying if this is a weight issue or something?
Yeah, weight issues for most people, not necessarily proportion issues. Weight issues are more so a reflection of your habits, the way that you eat, your physical activity level. So if you sitting out here trying to go to get plastic surgery done, whether you getting the thing in you that makes your stomach smaller or getting your fat transferred or whatever, it don't matter if you never create a workout routine and you're not active, and if you go back to the same habits that you had when you were pre plastic surgery, because you just you about to still eat the same, or you gonna have that time where you try to act different. You're gonna try to, but you're not gonna commit to it because you can't just do it. You got to create the habits for it. You got to learn about what's healthy and what's not healthy. People think Zaxby salads is healthy. Like, no, but I ate a salad. No, that's just 300 calories less, but you still eating half the calories you're supposed to have in a day. And I'm by no means an image of like physical perfection, but at the same time, like, fuck out of these habits ain't going nowhere. You still
and I think that's a good point to make, because I think a lot of people, and I've seen even with the gastric bypass surgery or whatever, you don't change the habit and then the weight comes back, you know. But I also think some people need a head start. They need a jump start. So I think some people, not the vast majority, but if they went through the process, the pain of getting plastic surgery or weight loss surgery or whatever, that kind of motivates them to kind of stick with a regimen.
Well, there is that. I think we are a society of instant gratification, right? We need it now. The microwave genre, in which you're telling me that I can go to Dr. Bob and I tell Dr. Bob I want this, 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 and this, and Dr. Bob theoretically has me look like this, 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 and this at the end of a 3-hour procedure. That's instant. So I somewhat get it. We are visual. We are plugged into the matrix. This world is the matrix. I don't care what anybody says. From what's being fed to us from TV, internet, social media, we are plugged in. Majority of us are plugged in. I would say almost all of us are plugged in and being fed the bullshit that's in the matrix. So we see, on another episode, we talked about the real side chicks, but how about the Real Housewives or these other reality TV shows that perpetuate a certain type, a certain look? Half of the people that we see out there in social media or internet media, whether it be from Kim Kardashian to the list, they probably had some type of cosmetic surgery. Enhancement.
Well, let's get to this too, because I had a conversation with my homegirl about this. We got this. It's a disparity between what people want. Men have this false image of what women expect of men. So if you ask some men, they'll be like, "Oh yeah, she don't want no good dude. If he a good dude that's kind of scarred for some, he like she don't want no good dude. She want a thug. Well, just to give her that meat." A man. If you ask a woman, right? But if you ask a woman, a man wants some real unrealistic image of a woman, this bodacious woman, this with big ass and big titties and a flat stomach. But most men don't marry the most attractive woman they've been with. Most men don't go out and date. Now we in Atlanta. This is Black Hollywood, so it's a difference. But if you go, I mean, even within the city, but if you go on the outskirts, that ain't the same thing. You ain't seeing men with fine ass women all the time, and because all of those men can attest to that they have a more realistic woman that they married to as opposed to the image. Now they'll smash. Don't get me wrong, them women is good for smashing, but you do not find the quality in those women. And as you mature and gain that interest in yourself to say, okay, that was cool, but this is what I want. You got to get it out of you. You got to go smash that woman. But once you have matured, you ain't gonna feel like when you find that woman that's for you, you ain't gonna feel like, oh, I gotta have this and this and that woman.
So do you think that society, and I'm not even gonna ask this question because I know the answer. We in society, we are a visual society. I'm gonna ask the question. Do you think we're hypersexual?
Fuck yeah. All these goddamn kids twerking. They got kids twerking. Fucking 4-year-olds can't say their alphabets, don't know their address, don't know their mom's last name, but they making twerk videos and you see it being perpetuated. You seeing like, nigga, where your father at?
Sheneka, hypersexual?
I'm sorry, I'm still laughing. Yeah, definitely. And again, that goes back to the whole media aspect of it, it's always been a thing,
Mm-hmm.
but I think it's becoming more of a thing because of all the images that's being portrayed to us and the competition. The competition, I think that leads into the increase of the cosmetic surgery
Mm-hmm.
because you feel like, okay, not only do I have to compete with the next chick, and I'm just gonna say this, like you compete with dudes too, like you have guys going out there getting plastic surgery, transitioning, and they are transitioning to what the media says is beautiful, so
Mm-hmm.
yeah, it's hard out here in these streets.
So, if you are plugged into the Matrix, you all know that Bobby Valentino,
Allegedly.
ele- you're learning,
Allegedly.
recently got caught up in a scandal where he was allegedly having, I'm gonna say, some type of, they say, sexual involvement with someone who was considered transgender.
Mm-hmm.
So we talked a little bit off air about being visual creatures and how they're always aspiring or looking to that visual image of what society says a woman should look like. They're always reaching for that. So they're out there looking for the women who have the perfect hourglass shape and the hip to waist ratio and things of that nature. Is that a, and Mark's laughing. So is that a possibility why they're not able to identify and I'm not trying to harbor on transgenders or try to put a negative light on people
You
that
gotta
are
put them in the same, in this conversation. You gotta put them in the same category as strippers, in terms of
Strippers.
in terms of the image that of perfection that is
Mhm.
being created. This flawless image. I tell people women should never, like, you as a quote unquote like regular woman wanting to be somebody's wife should never.
I'm not a regular woman. I'm
Ordinary. You should never want to compare yourself to this fantasy. That's Dungeons and Dragons shit. You not like you ain't fire breathing dragon. Don't compare yourself to these. That's created. That ain't that ain't man made.
Right.
So
that's in the lab.
Real men also understand, and I hate using that, but I'm gonna say it in this. Self-aware men understand that is only fantasy. I go to strip clubs. I frequent them.
Mm-hmm.
But while I'm in there, I can appreciate that. I don't come out and say I need a woman like that. Okay. I understand that that's just they've invested in that image, but realistically, a lot of men out here are still investing in partnerships, and so I would not want to, unless you got a lot of money. A lot of men ain't just marrying a pretty woman.
But do you understand how a woman may misconstrue that if you're frequenting the strip club as often as you do to see that fantasy? Do you understand how a woman may say, okay, well, if that's what he likes, then maybe I need to make some changes?
Let me ask you this. If you watch Real Housewives, if you watch Scandal, if you watch all of these things, does that mean that you are more like those characters? Does that mean that your desire and you have a greater affinity for those characters than you do for anybody that's a professional, anybody that is a more realistic than those characters?
So, one, I want to say no, but I also want to say I do think it desensitizes you to certain aspects.
Of course.
So, but again, if you're not only frequenting strip clubs, but there's some type of financial investment involved as well, I'm assuming. You making it rain?
I mean, I got $20.
Do it again, Sheneka.
I tell them, go to Babe. It's only $5 a dance. They don't charge 10 or 20.
But again, I think on the surface level, people don't look at it like that. People see that if this is something that you're doing, that this is something that you're interested in. And again, it's not just coming from maybe their man or a man they're interested in. This is also being fed to them by every time they get on social media, every time they turn the TV on, just conversations, magazines. So it's coming at you from different ways, different aspects. So it's not just you going to the strip club. It's you going to the strip club. Now I'm turning the TV on and I'm seeing, oh, okay, this is how I'm supposed to look. Because when you look at it, like, like it blows my mind nowadays. Like black women, we've always been known for, having big behinds.
Hey.
But now black women are getting butt lifts and butt injections
Hey.
and all of this other. Why are you looking? Well, hey, what?
Hey. just to the thickness of our queens, mahogany queens.
Yeah. So when you look at the prevalence of the number of women, black women specifically, who are investing in invasive plastic surgery, you have to understand where it's coming from, and you just can't say, oh well, that's just a fantasy. It's being bombarded. You're being bombarded by this quote unquote fantasy everywhere you go.
But y'all got to think too. All of this shit is not marketed towards men. It's marketed towards you all. Women consume this media. Women consume all of these platforms. So is that an image? I mean, if anything, it's maybe the image of a white man.
But women don't run these higher positions.
But that's what I'm saying. That's the image of a white man. That might be an expression of his desires. However, it really ain't a shitload of black men on social media that's really out there like that. Yeah, we appraise, just like you'll see the media slander Serena Williams' body. What black man looking at Serena like, nah, that ain't a goddess.
Yeah, I want Serena body,
girl. So Serena on my vision board.
But what it is a lot of women keep viewing this, and I always ask about the balance that you have. Because for me, I love ratchet music. I love strip clubs, but I love conversations about pro-blackness, how we gonna advance. So I might on a random weekday go to a strip club at 3 p.m., catch me at Babes or something like that. But
3 p.m.
Exactly, because ain't no competition. Ain't no bunch of dudes throwing money at 3 p.m. They at work.
So if you throw $40, that's all right.
They scavengers. But you also gonna catch me on you're gonna catch me at Mental Dialogue live experience on Fridays, where I'm with a bunch of guys, and this is why I always challenge people. It's always a bunch of guys there sharing their opinions, telling women that they are black queens, that they are the mothers to the earth, and it's not always enough black women there. This is out there on social media. This is out there for women to consume. And even in those settings, you'll have people, and it's an open dialogue type deal, you'll have women that come in and say, this is what men want, in the face of a shitload of men telling you this is not what we want. Because you consume way more of the media than you do the black man's opinion.
You're absolutely right.
I can dig it.
I can dig that also. It's unfortunate.
It is.
But that's actually where we are. And the media consumes a lot of our energy. It consumes a lot of our mental space. And unfortunately, these images, social media, talking about social media. So recently, did y'all watch the Rob Kardashian, Black China situation unfold?
I heard about that bullshit.
And I'm not even going to talk about it in depth because I think it's ridiculous. But Black China's on social media perpetuating that she's lost all this baby fat. And this is allegedly. I'm going to say allegedly because I ain't got no money for nobody to be coming back to me. But, she's on here with the waist trainers and the skinny tea or whatever all the hell that is. And Rob Kardashian blows all of her shit up by saying, she ain't out there. This ain't skinny tea. This is not, waist trainer that's making her look the way that she is. I paid $100,000.
$100,000.
Plastic surgery. He's showing videos of her going into her pre-op videos, going into surgery. He showed the after effects of the breasts augmentation and of
got that tape on her stomach.
Let me tell you something. I ain't had nothing to do that day at work. Nothing. And I watched the play-by-play and he was so real, and I'm not here to talk about the drama of what happened to them. I'm just here about saying that there is usually the people who are out here showing themselves in a certain light or whatever. Plastic surgery is a lot more commonplace than what it is. And it's being praised and it's being accepted. And, and people are probably not being honest, because I don't have a problem with any woman who's, after they've had children or whatever, saying they went under the knife and got snatched. I don't have a problem with that.
I do.
I don't, because I'm a woman. I don't have any problems with that. Right. But what I do say, though, is that the honesty aspect needs to be involved in it, because you have some people looking at you, no matter who you are. I'm not going to say as a role model, but they're looking to get to that. And you're not being honest that you went under the knife. You're saying that you went and drunk some goddamn tea. And that's not what it was.
You remember Star Jones? When she talking about she did Pilates and lost all of that weight?
No, girl. And you out there talking about something you drunk Slim Fast. No, girl. It wasn't Slim Fast.
Well, my question is, and this is only about the weight loss portion. We can get into the other aspects of enhancement. With the weight loss portion, and I've gone through a significant amount of weight loss and then gained it back due to either habits or stress or whatever. Like, I lost 70 pounds in about 6 months, and that's not feasible for everybody else. But what it is you creating your habits in that amount of time. And so I never really understood when somebody say, "Oh well, I went and got under the knife, and now I'm going to start." Nigga, how you now going to start? They didn't go in your brain and start shifting things around and say, "I'm going to create." Where that little plug at for habits? Let me rewire that.
Right.
No. Because motherfuckers want to believe that the shit they've been doing since 2 years old, you don't even have a concept of what's healthy. How are you going to create healthiness within yourself? Or I feel bad when you got a fat ass kid and then you go under the knife and go lose weight. And
you
now,
still got that fat ass kid.
Right? You ain't been to a Whole Foods. You ain't been to a DeKalb Farmers Market. You still
Right, you still shopping at Walmart. I say Walmart because I can't stand Walmart.
You still, hey, listen. Best time to go to Walmart is like at 2 a.m. They shut down all them lines, or like at 11 when they shutting down all the lines and niggas don't know you can go to the back register.
You still gonna be back there for about 40 minutes.
It's only 2 people in front of you at max when you're in the electronic section.
So, according to the American Society for Aesthetic and Plastic Surgery, cosmetic surgery is up 6-fold since 1997.
Right.
The biggest spike in plastic surgery in 2014 was butt augmentations.
Yeah.
It was up a whopping 86% from the year before.
Whopping sounds like it describe an ass.
From 2005 to 2013, cosmetic surgeries done on African Americans increased by 56%.
A group that say they ain't got no money.
Let's talk about it.
A group that ain't.
We know we have money. A group that claim brokenness all the goddamn time. This is where we choose to spend our money.
That investment.
And credit, they finance it.
They finance everything.
Don't matter.
Do something with that.
Not even the financing aspect. They will take it out of that financing aspect and put you on a payment plan. Yeah. You can get braces, which is cosmetic surgery, unless it's some medical reason why you need braces.
Yeah, let's.
Cosmetic surgery where they will in-house finance you and you pay $99 a month.
Yeah.
Okay. So
about 30 months.
For 49 months.
Excuse me. That's the interest high.
We all know that cosmetic surgery has become more affordable. Okay, so hey,
I met a woman, right?
I
thought this shit was fake. Cement booty. Dead ass.
What you do with it?
That was a dead ass.
You turned it down?
No, it wasn't that I
wait. Because I'm like, she said, did you turn it down? You didn't answer that question.
No, it wasn't a proposition.
Okay.
It was like in a club-like environment.
Her butt was hard, literally?
Her butt was hard. Because I kind of walked up and I grazed past it. So
on purpose?
Nah.
Okay.
I do that sometimes, but that wasn't one of them days. And so nowadays when I go to bars and clubs, I realize I'm too social. So I ain't there for dancing and shit. But I grazed up against her ass. The shit was cement. And so I seen, apparently it was new to her. Her ass was new to her. And it was a cement booty. And she was kind of getting attention for the fact that she had an ass. But people didn't realize until they got to it. That shit was fake as fuck. And not, like, a fat transfer, I can probably see more. But when you, it's sad when you are willing to put your health at risk. Because I seen a doctor get,
life at risk.
Yeah. A doctor got arrested and sentenced for giving people fake asses.
Well, you know that's, I don't want to say underground, plastic surgery, but you do have, especially in Florida, it was prevalent where there was someone who got arrested for injecting people with industrial type materials and things of the Fix-A-Flat, the silicone, the stuff that you use to caulk your bathroom and stuff. But
you wouldn't have never found me after I did some of them procedures.
Well, one person I know for a fact is serving time in jail behind that, because I think they presented themselves as a medical person. But there's no medical person, FYI, people, there's no medical person that's going to tell you, let me inject this in your booty in the kitchen. Okay, that's just not what happens.
I'd have called it a ass specialist.
Ass specialist. That's a good one.
Derriere specialist, if you want to really make it.
But
gluteus.
You have people who are willing to subject themselves to things that are not ethical or legal because they are aspiring to have the booty like such and such, or just to get that image that society says that they need to have.
One of my problems is they targeting Black women about expressing features that are prominent in Black women. So you are essentially having to be more Black because they know you're gonna throw your money away on it. Like, it's not the lips. It used to be a lip thing. Then it used to be a breast thing. Now it's an ass thing. And these characteristics, if you watch that movie Get Out, they was talking about how popular being Black was. That's real as fuck, because y'all, and I tell women this too, when it comes to like transgenders that are going to enhance themselves at a very extreme level, what you see is they are mimicking some image of Black women, enhancing that. So it's like Black women on steroids, and then they are then teaching Black women to be Black women to a point where you see Black women wanting to mimic the way that transgenders are doing things. And
never thought about it like
that. That gets very ridiculous, because I used to work in the restaurant industry, so I've seen in Midtown, and so I've seen that dynamic really play out, where you will see a guy giving, or excuse me, transgender. Is it trans woman or trans man? I don't know.
Trans woman.
Okay.
If they're a man to a woman.
Yeah, you'll see a trans woman giving a woman hair tips. You'll see a trans woman giving them makeup tips, doing makeup tutorials with them. You suggesting makeup tutorials. What's the best place to get these type of enhancements? Your lashes. You're gonna see all of that, and this is coming from a man.
Because they've studied. You know, it's like I'm not here to debate the trans genre. No, we're not doing that. But I think in order to, I'm not even gonna say I can respect it. I'm not even gonna go there and say that. I'm just gonna say, in order to transition over to another sex, I think they have did the study on it. I'm not saying it's right, wrong, or indifferent. What I'm saying though is that they try to project the image of the epitome of whatever that role is that they're transitioning to. So I do think that they've studied the role to a certain degree. Now, what I will not say is that is the normal or the natural look of the person that they're transitioning to.
I was just about to say something about that.
But what I will say that there's a studying or an investment into that particular transition that makes them, I'm not going to say they're subject matter experts. I'm not going to say that they're the best to go to for these particular issues, but they should have a lot of knowledge on it, because hopefully the decision to transition was something that was well thought out and planned. So there are 10 actual prominent or the most common procedures in plastic surgery, just as a whole. So we may not think about it, but the ear surgery.
I was just looking at it. I was like, what?
Okay. It's called autoplasty.
Like to make them smaller?
If your ears stick out, if you got the Martin ears.
That Barack.
He said that Barack.
The Barackator.
If you got the Barack ears, if you got the Martin ears, you can get those pinned back.
I got small ears. What do I do? They gotta put some extra little
Yeah.
cartilage.
Wait a minute. I looked at him. And I was like,
they be doing dumb shit. Can you hear me? Yeah. After the last 12 years of knowing your ass. Yeah. My profile shot, I kind of look like I got Down syndrome.
I'm not.
Oh, Mark needs an ear augmentation.
Can you hear me?
Oh, I never noticed that, but that's cool. I shouldn't say it's cool. It is cool,
and
though.
people say I'm stingy because how the fuck I'm stingy?
Because you got short ears.
My life for this shit.
Forehead lift.
Shut up.
Wait, okay. Shout out to listen.
Shut up. What is
Hold
that?
on now. Wait, hold on. Now, is this got to do with the hairline?
No, this is forehead lift. So let me tell you what I've learned in recent time.
That's that Wikipedia.
It
that
is.
Can't be real.
Wiki is your friend.
That can't be real.
Botox in the Black community. Now, forehead lift and Botox is something totally different.
Yeah, it is.
But in order to keep the youthful look,
a brow lift.
Oh, that's different.
Yes.
I understood brow lift.
A brow lift, also known as
that's
a
when
forehead
you ignorant.
lift.
You be like, oh, that's different.
Forehead lift,
Okay.
a brow lift.
Yeah.
So we know we have the tendency, age, your brows start to sag. For some people, it doesn't happen a lot in African Americans. Wait, I see white people. Okay, but usually in African American people, unless you have what they call recessed eyes or you have heavier, fuller lids, you don't have this issue. But the older that you get, your forehead will start to droop a little bit more. Your brows will start to droop a little bit more. If it happens prematurely, it'll make you look older. Get them shit snatched.
Okay, so but is cheeks on there too? Like, and that under neck, is that on there?
You ain't gonna talk about that chin.
Little gobble.
Oh my God.
What?
So another one, and I think a lot of people can benefit from this, and it's not, you probably didn't even know if it was plastic surgery or not, but a dermabrasion.
What is that?
So a dermabrasion is when you actually use a procedure, and it's usually, I don't want to say a laser procedure, but it's a apparatus that's used to remove the dermis, which is your top layer of your skin.
You shedding like a lizard? You shedding skin?
It's to remove the top dermis of your skin. That helps with hyperpigmentation. It helps with acne scars. It helps with a lot of imperfections on the dermis, the outer layer of the skin.
Is so animated. I wish we had a video.
But are you more likely to catch skin cancer?
No. You can accomplish a dermabrasion again by using a device. There are chemical peels that will also remove that outer layer.
So like Sammy Sosa.
No, Sammy Sosa.
He looks a hot mess.
Team dark skin and light skin.
We are not doing the Sammy Sosas over here. Okay.
You gotta say somebody that's still living.
But dermabrasions are something that will change not only the texture but the look of your skin. It does not require a lot of downtime.
Change your hashtag.
It will change your hashtag. Okay. Breast lifts.
Okay.
There's a difference between a breast augmentation and a breast lift.
Because them things be looking like Caesar from the Planet of the Apes.
I can't. I absolutely can't.
She's off. Pick them things up.
Oh my God.
That's the first time I really knew about science when one of my teachers said, if you really look at breast of a 24-year-old versus a
I can't deal with him.
This is how gravity works.
I can't deal with you.
I'm mad she used that as an example. Your teacher?
Oh, my teacher was really fun. Shout out to all my real teachers that kept it logical for me.
So the breast lift, the face lift, tummy tucks.
Okay.
We know tummy tucks are actually very, very, very prevalent.
Okay,
nowadays.
so this is my confusion with all of this. So you got the tummy tucks, but now you got the shit in your stomach that'll small your stomach up. Then you got the shit that's...
What you mean to small your stomach up?
You know, make your
gastric
stomach
bypass?
Yeah,
or
the sleeve. The sleeve.
The sleeve,
yeah.
Okay.
So then they got...
The weight loss.
Then they got the vacuum. You know what I'm saying?
Well, the liposuction is actually removing the fat.
That's what I'm saying. So what does tummy tuck do?
So I'm going to explain it to you. So the weight loss procedures, whether it be the gastric sleeve, the gastric bypass, all of them, what they actually do is they're manipulating the digestive system. So it's actually the gastric bypass is actually cutting the stomach, making it smaller, stitched back up to give you a smaller size stomach. So they're removing part of your stomach. The sleeve is
Thanksgiving.
Bye. The sleeve is actually not cutting and removing anything. What it's actually doing is creating a sleeve to make the stomach smaller.
So it's like the Mirena on your stomach.
Mirena is not an IUD.
Don't they put that thing, the little band around it?
Oh my God!
Deal with him.
So what's that little when they
no. Jeez, Pasha, you were saying.
My guys feel me on this one. It's like a little Mirena.
And usually those are done for health reasons. Okay.
No, they're not.
So they can be done for cosmetic reasons.
I know a lot of motherfuckers that sleeve now.
But more they're done for, well, I should say they probably did start out for cosmetic reasons, but they're being used more for health reasons because that overall can, if you get these things and you live by a certain type of lifestyle, if you have diabetes, you know what I'm saying, you can reverse.
I think it's the other way. I think it started out for health reasons, and now is more. So I will say this: it's more so cosmetic, but the doctor's not gonna say that because we need insurance to pay for it, right? So the doctor phrase it however you need to phrase it, because I think when it first came out, you needed to be like 100 pounds overweight or something like that. Now,
I want to share something intimate with y'all, right?
Okay, with us,
with y'all.
You know, people gonna hear this.
Y'all.
Okay. Oh. Okay. Y'all.
I've been here.
All of y'all.
All of y'all.
So, I have a disorder in which I eat a lot of food and gain a lot of weight.
What is it called?
The itis.
And I knew it. I knew it.
And so sometimes I eat too late, and it's just a disease. It's a disorder. When you start taking this real serious,
the itis is a real thing.
You go to sleep and wake up hungry.
It is. But the weight loss procedures are a little bit different. No, they are absolutely different from the tummy tucks and the liposuction. So you can have liposuction on all parts of your body. You can have liposuctions on your arm, on your legs, on your flanks, stomach. You can have it on your chin. Flanks is back here.
Okay, so I need to know what I be. I know what I be eating when I eat something flanks.
Yes, you are eating that part of the cow. You're eating
that back.
That moo back. So the liposuction is targeting those areas. It's using a cannula, which is a long device in which there is I've done my research.
I said, what's your undergrad in? This ain't Wikipedia no more.
This ain't. There are small incisions that's made into those areas. There's a cannula that's used to suck the fat from these particular sections of your body, and that's what liposuction is. Now the tummy tuck is, and this is done on the stomach area,
hence tummy,
stomach,
in which they will line a certain area of skin to be removed.
Right.
Okay. So the doctor will make an incision. It's usually a higher incision above the belly button area.
Okay.
Usually it's done in conjunction with liposuction. You really don't want to have a tummy tuck and not have liposuction done, because you still have the fat that could potentially be there. But the liposuction process is a removal of the skin and sometimes fat, in which the incision is made at the top, and that top incision is snatched all the way down.
I like the word snatched.
Snatched.
That's when I mess with an older woman.
To a lower incision, what's usually made right above the groin area. It's stitched, and a new belly button is reconstructed.
If I did that process, I wouldn't want a belly button. I want a blank spot. We are not the same. I am a Martian.
Oh my God.
So that's usually the liposuction. And
okay, so where else we at with the how many we done?
So we're doing nose reshaping and breast augmentation. Those are the top 10.
Nose reduction?
Nose
So,
reshaping.
speaking of nose reduction or rhinoplasty is actually the number one procedure for Black folks.
Well, because they don't like nigga noses.
But I'm just saying, I would have never known that people were actually acting on that. I know that there's a stigma attached.
Some people taking in too much air. You might choke.
But but yeah, that was surprising to me to find out that rhinoplasty was the number one procedure for Black folk. Period.
I'm trying to think of what else Black folks might be that insecure about.
I think it's the nose. The nose.
I'm saying what else? Well, I don't think the lips carry that same stigma.
I don't think they either. But I think the nose.
When you get that Jackson 5 nose.
And the nose is, if you look at your nose, if you change the shape of your nose, can actually change your profile. That's a drastic change to you. Like, you can get your lips bigger or smaller. People won't really notice that. Change your nose.
Because it ain't just the nose. You got the bridge and all of that shit. I hated my nose for a while. Then I was like, but you're going to be the best moderately attractive motherfucker.
Moderately.
Nose?
I don't know.
You have a little nose.
That's what I'm saying. I ain't saying I had a big ass, wide ass nose, but it just kind of, it didn't look right to me at first. So now I'm good.
Your nose is good.
Yeah.
I think I got a Shaka Zulu nose.
Y'all knew the Zulu nation?
Yeah, like this part right here. This. What is this called?
The bridge. Yeah.
This right here.
Yeah.
This is strong.
No, it's not.
Shit, me.
Y'all
Feel this.
Listen.
Call me Taurus.
Y'all don't understand, man. Like, I be having so many. I think I got like, what is it? Not insomnia. I be having breathing issues when I go to sleep.
You need a CPAP?
Apnea.
Hell yeah, but I see. No, but before I would go for the CPAP, I would definitely go for surgery.
So you would do surgery?
But I would definitely do that because my dad used to have it. It just sounded like a vacuum cleaner. How the fuck I'm gonna sleep with?
Sound like Darth Vader.
Yeah. Oh God.
So one of the reasons why plastic surgery has become so prevalent in our society is not only because it's affordable. Now, and I'm telling you, plastic. So a tummy tuck lipo combination, maybe a couple of $1,000s. And I'm saying maybe about $5,000-$6,000. So if you've been in the gym hitting it hard, and I'm going to just the people who've tried to work off the fat and those that haven't.
They just go to Planet Fitness for $20. Like
some people. $10. Again, we are living in this instant gratification. So if I can spend $5,000, $6,000 and in a month see results of me going from a size 14 to a size 6, why wouldn't I do it? It's an investment. If you're willing to, because there's maintenance that's involved, please do not believe that you can get any type of plastic surgery, especially when it deals with areas that are known to hold fat. You can't get a tummy tuck and a liposuction and expect that you can continue to eat the regular way, because there's going to be maintenance that's going to need to be involved.
Yeah. So I'll tell y'all the one area that I always felt like I wanted.
What you'll get done? Because we're gonna talk about men's liposuction.
I won't get it done, but I feel like at one point I was like, man, I wanted braces, but I was looking into.
I thought he was gonna tell me something.
It wasn't but I was I had listened to Cardi B. Shout out. Got her back and fixed my teeth. And I started looking at celebrities that got their teeth fixed. You got Nelly, you got Ludacris.
Everybody's gotten their teeth fixed.
But when she said it's not expensive, I tried to look up how much hers was. I couldn't find it. $50,000 for Nicki Minaj's. It was like $150 for Lil Wayne's.
I think
what?
For all 32 of them things.
Oh.
That means you snatching out the whole, you replacing the whole vehicle. Then you snatching out the engine and everything.
Are they getting implants or are they getting?
It's not just implants. I don't know why you would replace them last few in the back. Ain't nobody see that unless they got holes, unless they got cavities. But you just getting really a whole new set put in, and sometimes it's gum work too.
I think it depends on what you're getting done.
You got to make sure you got that stable gum foundation, because a lot of
are they getting a plate or implants?
No, I
they
think most of them are
replacing
getting
the whole
veneers.
thing. Yeah.
They're getting, there's levels to veneers.
See,
They are an investment, but
she sounds like she know about this shit.
let me tell you something.
She did research on this topic.
Because when Pasha gets her coins together,
right,
there is not going to be anything that I want to get done that I'm not going to be able to get done.
I see that look in your eyes.
You see
that's
this
determination. Like motherfucker.
Everybody knows that your smile is the first thing that people see.
And I love smiles.
So if you need braces, if you need teeth whitening, veneers, why not invest in it? I guarantee you, not only the energy and the vibe that you will get from people will be different, because people who have jacked up mouths,
right,
not good oral hygiene.
Except for Cardi B, she was chewing on bricks. She got gum butter to cook.
I'm gonna tell you this: people who don't have good oral hygiene, whether it be from a smell aspect or a look aspect, people really don't want to mess with you like that. You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
So if you can get your smile fixed, no matter what it is, I would say go ahead and do so. We're talking about.
Sorry, I'm being distracted.
Yeah, she showed me a picture of two women. What you see in that picture is one woman validating another woman. That's the worst shit ever. That's how plastic surgery got its origins.
Right.
But men do not necessarily. Men might compliment you on some shit, but that's an after effect.
Do you think men actively promote or encourage women to get plastic surgery?
No. Because a lot of I don't think that. I would ask y'all in y'all lifetime, how many times have a dude said, "Oh, you would look so much better with a fat ass"?
I don't think anybody's usually.
But it is women.
Hey, I got a fat ass to begin with.
Oh yes, you do. And that's coming from a single man of 9 years.
But I don't think people are willing to. I don't think people are willing to have those candid conversations with people.
But that's a whole different conversation.
That is.
I'm trying to stay on topic. But you got more women validating women for this shit than you got men. Y'all gotta understand, men ain't even on social. Like they say it'd be one or two loud niggas trying to put on because other men ain't talking. Men don't be talking on social media as much. They might like your shit. They'll slide a little DM quick as fuck. Right. But don't think that a DM from a chick with a fat ass is gonna be way more than a DM from a chick on some natural shit. And this is why I had a conversation with my homie. I said, and no offense to anybody, but I said one reason why you won't, like, why I wouldn't be, like, transgender women wouldn't catch motherfucker like me because I like natural black women.
What does a natural black woman look like?
I'm talking about whatever flaws you got, I want it.
Hey.
But that is not and there's more appreciation for me to see your transition through your flaws, or at least your acceptance in it. So one, we all need to get therapy. That's a whole nother topic though. But if you got these flaws within yourself, what I'm gonna do? I'm not gonna come in and be like, yeah, keep working at that, baby. I'm gonna say that, but I gotta pair that with validation. Mm-hmm. You already beautiful. Don't strive for beauty. You already beautiful. Because if you keep looking for beauty somewhere else, you gonna go to the cosmic route. Mm-hmm. You're gonna try to find whatever cosmetics. But I did tell them, like, transgender, or even women, period, when you trying to get enhancements, you're gonna try to find the most extreme enhancements. I doubt they're gonna charge you a significant difference.
You're right,
between A cups and B cups.
Because if I was a small-breasted woman and I'm going to get me
when you lay down and them things disappear,
titties, I'll be like, give me that fucking. When you lay down and look like a preteen. If I was a small titted,
so I'm thinking of women that I know
based on how big your back
breast
is.
Implants. It's
do you see women go from A's to B's often?
No, you don't see them going from A's to D's because they trying to get it.
Or at least A to C. It usually is not a very modest.
What I would say is
even with reductions.
So even what I would say is it's in proportionate to their body. So the people that I know that have gotten,
if I'm going to pay my 5 stacks,
if you see all not
think, hold on, but is that the same? No. Look, we got to keep it in perspective because now breast implants are so commonplace that it's almost old news.
Yeah.
And I had a conversation with a few guys. They accept breast implants more than they accept asses.
Oh, can we talk about that?
They don't have a cup size for ass, right?
So men are willing to accept breast augmentations.
Men are willing to accept what has been around longer. White men been getting breast implants for their women. That's commonplace and has been spoken about since the beginning of time. Women juggling titties, that shit been happening. But what ain't been happening is this new wave. But everybody going to the extreme now.
So you turning down booties?
Guys
turning down butts?
No, it's the difference between turning it down and reinforcing it. Mm-hmm. You do not see a bunch of guys like, that's that ass you need to have before I can be with you. Because I personally believe that men do shit for women. I mean, yeah, men do. Most of the shit men do is for women. Now, women will go out of their way to do shit for women too, but they'll do it for men as well. Like these little squiggly ass eyebrows. Is that plastic surgery? Is that, or that's just some fake shit?
I don't know. I'm not here for
You'll
it.
see short eyebrow having ass. The fuck out of here.
Yo, roll the boat having ass. I'm not here for it. Boy,
got C6 from that shit. You got 50 brush strokes before you go to sleep on them eyebrows. But what I'm saying is, women be doing some shit, and I be like, the fuck? Like, who would validate that? I.e., these like, men don't ever talk about a woman lashes.
Right.
Women say, oh, but he noticed it. Men don't give a fuck. My whole thing about anything cosmetic is moderation. Make me believe some shit. And if I don't believe it, make somebody else who has no knowledge of this shit believe it. Because what women do is, oh, he like flowing hair. I'm gonna get mine. Nigga, black women don't produce blonde hair normally.
I have flowing.
I like your hair. I love that. I'm a proponent of natural hair. From the most ignorant perspective.
What's the most ignorant perspective?
You can have a natural wig.
Can't deal with him.
Give me a Jill Scott wig and I'm good.
Okay. You like texture.
Give me some Floetry wig.
So you prefer someone who has a natural appearance versus...
Let me tell you what I like. I ain't gonna say, you don't have to wake up with the wake face, but you also don't have to come out with the cake face. So I need, give me some median. Give me a good median. Do you have to do, because the biggest problem that men have is the disparity between who you are and who your representative is physically. Mm-hmm. Just like women be like, oh, men are liars, and that's some personality shit. Men feel the same way about your physical representation. There's nothing wrong with you doing your eyebrow, or you wearing lipstick, or you having weave. The problem is, it's always, even a little bit adds up. You got weave, you got your nails that's fake, you got your makeup that's fake, you got your eyebrows that's fake, your eyelashes fake. We really done with your face. You only got a real nose.
Our most
well, that's contour. You know you can contour and make that.
And are most men?
Yes.
Okay, because I'm not a man.
Because
What's the question?
I'm having conversations.
Are most men what?
Do they care?
Do they care?
That a woman is in her natural state versus her
man.
Versus
all right, let me ask y'all this. To answer your question, I'm asking you a question. Do you think that when you have your sweats on and you kind of look, you might feel like you busted? Do you feel like more men approach you out when you do that versus when you decked out with your heels on and your hair done and you
I'm gonna say this
2 hours of effort into it? I want a yes or no for that.
So I was told that you look like you have low self-esteem, so that's why they approach you.
But no. That might be a difference. What it really is I'm getting a version of you that I'm comfortable with approaching, because men do this number scale. So if I meet you and if I value myself at like a 7 or 8, and then I meet you, unless it's some arrogant ass niggas out here who don't have shit but just feel highly of themselves, and them niggas you don't want to stray away from. But if I feel like I'm a 7 or 8, it's a disparity that I'm okay with. If I think I'm a 5, I'm not fucking with no 10. A lot of niggas want Beyonce, but you ain't prepared to be that nigga to receive Beyonce. But when you plain-faced, when you just going out to go pick up something, niggas appreciate that shit. Because I can say, okay, she comfortable with at least...
In fake-ass Atlanta?
In fake-ass Atlanta.
I don't know. You can tell me what grocery store you shop at.
Listen, I will put up a fucking poll on some shit. I will put some shit up and be like, yo, women, yes or no?
I don't want to hear from women. I want to hear from men. I want to hear from a man.
But you have to take the woman's perspective. Do you get approached a lot?
No.
To answer that question, I would say yes. And I was telling one of
because
my
they think you got low
homeboys that.
self-esteem.
So I was telling
like
one
you
of
require. Y'all both look like y'all require 6-footers.
We're not gonna get into that conversation.
Look, I'm about to get some plastic surgery on my height.
You know that's a thing.
You gotta be this tall.
Extended shin bones.
You gotta be this tall to ride this ride.
Wait, you the one ride.
Depending on what day it is.
I was saying,
straddle you.
I can't.
Why?
You straddle you.
No, you don't.
You straddle you. All right, what you say?
Let Pasha get it out.
Wait, isn't there like a sexual position where it looks real obscure, but there's a man like I'm gonna find it. Hold on. Go ahead, Sheneka. I'm gonna find it.
So I was gonna say, like I thought that, like, why guys always want to talk to you when you look busted? Like, I'm just trying to run into the store real quick and get out looking crazy. And I thought it was, you're seeing me and you're saying to yourself, you know what? She can't look any worse than this, and I can deal with that.
Did the man tell you that, or you just?
No, this is me thinking, right? So what he said was, no, you just like, you have low self-esteem, so you like an easy prospect. Like, oh, she got low self-esteem. Like, and I was like, well, dang, like, really? Do you all really think like that?
The only reason I can't get with that is because it's about approachability, right? Mm-hmm. Because when you are feeling yourself the most, oftentimes in our community, y'all heard of the angry bitch face, angry black woman face, or whatever, your resting bitch face. What happens is a man, the intimidation level of a woman, sometimes a man can't see your version of, oh, I'm just chilling versus I don't want to be fucked with. That face might be the same for some women.
I can respect it.
And so a man ain't gonna really approach you. But when you dial down,
smile. Why you not
right?
Smile?
I have angry bitch face.
I got a better.
No, I have resting bitch face down to a science. That's my normal face.
Right.
So, and I practiced this habit from earlier on because as a youngin', meaning like in my teens, early 20s, I would get a lot of attention from older men that I didn't want. So I would I would walk around with this look on my face because I grew up in Connecticut, and it was a deterrent of don't approach me because I probably have an angry face on. So 20 years later, I still have this angry face that I haven't learned to soften up, or that I actively practice on softening up because I know that men won't approach me because they think it's angry bitch face, and it's not. It's actually my normal resting face at this point in time. But I find myself not getting approached by a lot of people because they're like, you always look angry. Nah, I'm actually cool. This is just how my face.
I ain't see. I'm gonna get back on topic because I'm gonna get back on topic because that's a whole. I'm telling you, I go in on that shit. But in terms of plastic surgery and women and they plastic surgery and the perception that men have, it's just not. What Brock said. That's just not true. Well, no. Because the biggest thing is just that men don't have a voice more often than not, and the men that do, and when I say they don't have a voice, is that they don't give themselves a voice, not that they're being subdued. So what you have is the perspective of some white executive that's giving y'all this validation by very few men who you never go into the source. You never say, is this man a complete man? Is he broken? Like, what the fuck is it? He unmarried. He can't have healthy relationships with women. Y'all don't ever do that. What it is, well, he said it, so he's a man. And but that nigga ain't shit. And he ain't shit from an internal perspective. He don't value himself for shit. And so he gonna pull the trigger on whatever piece of monkey come through that thing. Come swing around. Okay. But women really have to, if you really want to get a man's perspective, you have to go to a man that don't want nothing from you, that can have at least a platonic relationship and give you some reality about it without, because that this cosmetic appraisal is bullshit. Okay,
I get it.
It's y'all.
People. So again, one of the other reasons why people are doing is that the downtime, depending on certain procedures, low downtime, little.
I got 2 weeks of vacation anyway.
Yep, little or no downtime, depending on what the procedure is.
I don't.
Big.
The convenience.
Big. And I work from home.
So I can go get that thing snatched and be at the house. Nobody gonna see me.
Oh, I wanted to talk about that vaginal reconstruction when we
It's
get a
on
chance.
my list.
Yes, we're gonna get to that.
So
Ooh.
so let's talk about the vaginal reconstruction now.
Well, I just, for statistical purposes,
Gotcha.
it is up 39%.
Now I ain't
in the 2016.
from when 50s or what?
No, from the year before. So from 2015 to 2016, it was up 39%.
That snapback.
But again, I think that goes back to the media.
I fuck with that. Listen, I ain't an advocate for too much plastic surgery, but that snapback.
So I'm talking about the labia plasty.
Mm-hmm. That's when is that when they do like the electric shit?
No, so
that's the lips.
Okay.
The inner one.
That's the.
I can't.
I wasn't ready. That's the lips. And we do know that there's a difference between the inner labia and the outer labia, correct? Mm-hmm. So have you ever, and this is getting
I done
totally
seen that shit that look I done seen that shit that look like
flank steaks.
I look like cauliflower. I'm like, but that
cauliflower.
Yeah, when it stick out, when
you have
that shit that look like a balled up grocery bag.
Oh my god!
But the misconception is that that's the bad.
Did you turn it down?
I have before.
Because
just based on appearance.
Man, I'm a very visual person, so yeah, visual. I need that whole stimulation. It might have been tighter than a motherfucker. Tighter than the Black Panther fist, but I could not.
Not the Black Panther. Don't bring that in. Don't bring Black Panthers into this food.
Listen, don't act like we ain't all had our issues. But I'm a visual because I'm a picky pussy eater.
So you're okay with a woman saying that she wanted to have vaginal rejuvenation? Because now I'm about to ask a specific question. Yeah. Vaginal rejuvenation, is that a yes or a no?
Yeah, and that little shit that give you that. The chiropractors give you something on your back that just send electrons to it.
I'm not dealing with you.
Put that shit on your vagina.
I'm not dealing with you.
That shit.
Sheneka, are we here for vaginal rejuvenation?
It's almost like
what?
Are we here for the not saying specifically you, but are you okay for sisterhood vaginal rejuvenation?
I don't think that.
What's that shit when they put them
electrodes?
Clear. I want you to do that to your vagina. You can even put it on the inner thighs and let it go to your vagina. Tighten it up a little bit.
So vaginal rejuvenation, are we not here for the reconstruction of whether it be the inner labia and the surrounding muscles, especially after birth?
After birth.
Well, I can't relate to that, so I don't know.
What if you just got a loosey-goosey?
What if you don't fuck with it?
I can't relate to that.
What do they say?
So
what y'all like?
Hold
on, this is what men do. What y'all like now? Y'all got that eggplant? I went to the grocery store and saw a real ass eggplant. I was like, these bitches is crazy. Any woman that want that shit, oh my goodness, you are.
Okay, so we're not here for vaginal rejuvenation. Are we here for
y'all not as collective?
I'm here for
thought process, and this is me, and I could be completely wrong.
You are.
I'm probably wrong, but it surprised me to hear you say you turned some down because
too much.
It had Dumbo ears.
When you sucking on some lips and the lip, you goddamn choking that shit hitting you. You don't do that. You don't. You sound like her now.
It's looking like shiitake mushroom.
Yeah, you sound like her. God damn, what the fuck? You got so much lip.
I don't have those problems.
You know that lip. But you don't have a problem.
I think I just find it hard to believe that a man in the midst of the act is going to look and say, "Oh no, let me put my tighty whities back on and go." Because I can't. I just find that hard to believe.
Tripping the thing. I'm a very visual person, and it is some men that'll disagree with me. Because some niggas is like, in the heat of battle, I'm shooting.
Yeah.
But
the vast majority.
But when you have had a certain amount of experience, you also gotta. I try to at least grow. So I'll be like, all right, this shit ain't worth it. Like, what's another notch under your belt when you ain't making that emotional connection?
So, why are you trying to make emotional connections?
Because now I'm at a point where if I'm smashing somebody, I at least want a level of
If you
intimacy.
smashing, you want into that.
I'm
Don't
sorry.
even go
So
together.
If I'm smangling,
I'm going to get us back on topic. You need to remember that plastic surgery or body augmentation is not about the other person, it's about yourself. So if you got the Dumbo ears going on and you feel
that's a fallacy.
Plastic surgery in 2017 should be, let me say it's not. It should be about yourself.
Let's do 50-50. How would you do that?
I want to do 60-40.
Okay, that's cool too.
Okay. It should be about yourself. It should be about the holistic being. So we all know that we are not promised tomorrow. If you have something that is a concern of yours, or if you want to get changed, I think you should go ahead and do it. So if you got the Dumbo ears down there, if you got the beefsteak tomatoes downstairs, right? You need it if you want to get them done.
It's like a deployed parachute.
Get them done. If your boobs are not where you want them to be, and you can afford to get the breast lift, and if you need an augmentation, which means being increased or changed to a certain degree, get it done. If you don't like the way your nose is shaped, if you don't like the way your eyebrows are, if you think you need Botox, get it done.
Now the question is, when we start worrying about these physicalities,
I'm saying for self.
But you talking about if you want it, get it done.
Yeah.
If we start talking about these physicalities, where do we bring in the quote unquote slippery slope? Where do we bring in the reality that at what point is the message for perfection?
It's not about perfection.
No. Is the message for perfecting something as prominent, or is it where's the message?
Where's the line?
No, where's the message for self-love versus perfection or perfecting something?
I think self-love is incorporated by.
We want it to be.
I think self-love is incorporated by knowing self, knowing who you are. Okay? So, again, if it's something that you don't like and you can afford to get it done, because it's all about living. I'm not going to say in the moment, but it's about living with who you are. So you have people who can be severely unhappy. Like, we may be all okay with whatever our flaws are, but there are some people who are severely unhappy by something that's wrong with them, no matter what it is. So are you saying that person shouldn't have the affordability or the option to change that in their life, especially when it's something as easy as going to have this procedure done?
What I'm saying is, if that person go out and if they hate their nose, I was listening to a radio host, he hated his nose, changed his nose. Yeah, he likes it. But in our community, we have so much trauma that goes on, is we want to make one thing exclusive. So it's your body, and now it's your body that's getting shamed. And then it's your your skin color and your skin tone. And then your whatever, it's almost like whatever the next trend might be that is underappreciated or unappreciated, you might gravitate towards that.
Well, all I'm saying is that I think any type of augmentation involves a level of self-evaluation, whether that means going to sit on someone's couch and realizing what the underlying issue or reasoning for you not wanting to change things of that nature. And once you worked through that process, whatever it is, if it will make you feel better by getting it changed, Pasha B says go ahead and do it.
Let me ask you this. So I seen something where a guy was, I don't know if he sued this woman or whatever. She had a facial reconstructive surgery. Plastic surgery.
The Asian guy?
Yeah. And the baby was ugly. And
well, you need to be looking at pictures.
See, now y'all trying to throw is it not up to you to tell me what all you have done before I came?
Literally?
Like, should that be your responsibility?
Because you said there was children involved, like literally before you go.
Like, he had a kid. They had a kid, and that kid was an ugly Asian.
So is that your expectation? Let me ask you that.
What?
For the woman, or
to divulge all the procedures.
Yeah,
or
just go down the list.
My thing is effective communication and honesty. And that's plastic surgery or whatever. So if you have any type of procedure done, and then you have, like, that's no different than trauma. You should share your trauma with your partner. If you say that we want to be life partners, you should share your trauma and your experiences. You should share your mind state or whatever. You should share whatever procedures you've had done.
So we need to go down the list of all the procedures I've had done.
Is it that long?
What if it is? Do we need to go down the list?
Fuck yes.
Okay. That's your expectation.
Because I like you.
So that's your expectation.
That's your expectation.
I would think that most men, especially when it's physical, most men.
Do you ask the question? Or should they know that that's your expectation?
Okay, let me ask you this.
Because you can't, hold on, answer the question. Because you can't know if it's an expectation if someone didn't tell you that it's an expectation.
No, and it's not an expectation. I mean, it is an expectation, actually.
But you don't have the conversation.
You don't always have that conversation. Because,
sucks to be you.
Listen.
I'm going to be the little Asian girl.
No.
I got $100,000 worth of work.
Let's do this. Because what's on the platform right now is transgenders, right? So if everything about a man presents to have been born a man based off of your knowledge, your working knowledge, this man comes up to you at Idris Elba, because I seen how y'all...
we ain't gonna do that.
No, that's
find you another person to talk about, because I will go up here with Idris. Okay, I'm gonna need for you to find another person.
So before you even elaborate on that, I don't even think that's a fair comparison as far as a transgender to whether or not somebody had a tummy tuck. Like, that's not fair.
But what we're talking about is having a conversation, because it's a portion of it that has to do with deception.
I don't think that the conversation can be paralleled. I agree with Sheneka. High five, Sheneka. That transgendered and cosmetic surgery is the same.
Okay,
you
but
have
not
changed,
all cosmetics.
You have
not
changed
all cosmetics.
Gender.
Okay,
I need to know if you've had a penis before.
Okay, let's change it. Okay, cool. So I will give you that. I will give you all that while y'all high fiving and got y'all black girl magic rocking.
Yes. Can we talk quickly about common procedures for males when we talk about plastic surgery?
I would like to hear these.
Okay, you ready?
The hairline.
Eyelid rejuvenation.
Okay.
Neck lifts.
I feel like this some white people shit.
Rhinoplasty.
Which one was that one?
Nose job.
Okay.
Chin augmentation.
Yeah, that's all white.
Gynomastia surgery.
All right, that sounds like some growing shit.
No.
Gyno?
Tatas.
Oh, titty reduction.
Titty reduction.
Oh.
That's the top 5.
What? No, I wanted the 10. Because I seen something about, it don't mean it's a top 10, but guys getting these weak ass ass put in.
I will say that the whole ab thing, it is honorable mention.
Have y'all met any guys?
And the calf
and the chest.
Really, is niggas out here with calves?
I don't know if black
these
men...
niggas taking this LeBron James shit too far.
So I talked to Sheneka. I think we talked about this earlier. Let's say you're a guy or a female that you're in the gym. You're in there 7 days a week. You're hitting it, whatever. And let's say you have this deposit of fat that you can't get rid of. Is it okay for them? Is it okay for you to go get liposuction to get that rid of?
Get your ass on somewhere, man. That's what I'm gonna say to a man. Get your ass.
Why? But what would you say to a woman?
What if she got that deposit of fat? Depending on what it is. Like I talk straight to men. You know what I'm saying?
I don't think there's anything wrong with a man going under the knife if he's been working at it.
I'm gonna be inquisitive about both of them. I'm gonna say, hey, what have you been doing? Who have you been going to? Is this a specialist, or is this somebody who has really researched the educational portion of it? This person is
in the gym. They're eating
Stop thinking that
they're eating right, so they have their nutritional values down. They're in the gym 7 days a week. They're incorporating weightlifting and cardio and all of that other BS. And there is this small deposit of fat that they cannot get rid of. Is it okay, whether it be man or woman, to go and have liposuction?
I mean, is it okay? Yeah, that's their prerogative. But
okay,
am I going to still? I'm a man that holds men accountable. So when you say you about to go do this or whatever, I'm inquisitive as fuck. Like,
so if the man,
especially for men.
So if a man goes to a barbershop and get all Beijinged up,
when he get that little spray shit, I got that once in my life. Went to the club, head sweating. Nigga, I had black tears. I look like a Kanye West video. Fucking hairline sweating. That's cosmetic enough for me. I never did that shit again. I thought he was. I was like, the fuck is this? It was hard. It felt like spritz.
I didn't even know what spritz.
That was my mom used to have that spritz. That shit. Them styles used to stay in place for a week and a half.
Pump it up.
She had a big ass bamboo chair too, but no, I had to do like, yo, bro, like, do something realistic about it. Maybe you want a bald head.
There's nothing that you can do about it. Let's say, but I want it.
Let me tell you,
I want it enhanced.
I know dudes that got hair plugs. Do I feel some way about it? At times I'll be like, all right. At the end of this is my whole philosophy from a person. It's like I try to get to know, is this out of a place of love? Do you love yourself first? If so, then whatever the fuck ever. But a lot of motherfuckers don't take the time for self. So then they go do some shit and then they realize that it might be a new trend. If you got in when the breast implants was big and now you come in and now you still existing when the ass implants is big, then you gonna gravitate towards that. That don't tell me that you love yourself. That tell me that you willing to try to do whatever it takes to get to that point of some type of, look at Lil' Kim. Why we ain't talking about this shit yet? Every enhancement known to man, that top 10 list of men and women apply to her ass. Yeah. And we ain't said shit about her extra light skin, team dark skin 90s ass.
So what I'm hearing Mark say is that if it's coming from a place of self-love.
If you love, do you love yourself first? I'm okay if you got that little bit. Even though I talk a lot of shit about it. If you love yourself first, then cool, go get it, whatever. Okay. Do I think that would I do that? No. It's a difference between what I would do and what I would suggest people to do versus what they actually doing, and I don't feel no way about it.
Okay.
But
so Mark, self-love first
and foremost.
Okay, Sheneka, the whole aesthetic cosmetic discussion issue. Are you for it or are you not for it?
Whatever floats your boat, sure.
Whatever floats your boat.
Till that hurricane come.
Whatever floats your boat. Pasha B says whatever makes you happy. Whatever. You're not harming anybody by going to get anything nipped and tucked.
What happens when in one area you compensated? So physically, everything you want it to be.
Whatever makes you happy.
And then the reception to
whatever makes you happy. If you're not out there,
because you still want love, right? The reception to motherfuckers that love you might not be the same now.
Whatever makes you happy.
Now
you can't live for everybody. You gotta live for what you talked about, self-love.
But we all want love.
And can I also add? I'm just gonna lean your way a little bit as far as just investing in your overall growth, internal, whatever, as much as you're investing in the physical appearance. Mm-hmm. So I think a lot of people, when you talk about self-love, they are trying to fix the outside without fixing the inside. You know, so I think if you're going to spend that money, go through the pain and of getting all of these procedures done, understand that invest just as much time as much time in building your inner self, you know, who you are as a person and just developing. So yeah, I agree with that.
Just to add briefly to that, we like I say, a lot of shit that men do is for women, and a lot of shit that women do is for men. Motherfuckers be going out here and getting these things thinking that they're going to be more attractive to somebody. Mm-hmm. And so people invest in, not only do they not invest in their physical self, they invest in their physical self and then neglect the emotional, psychological, and all that shit. Motherfuckers will study some shit for 30 years and never study themselves. That's some bullshit.
Because I think if you go through all of that, as far as getting the outer appearance changed in some way, if you're not getting the response, because I think with that comes a response. Even though you may say you're doing it for self, you're looking for a certain response after you've gotten it done. I think that can also further contribute to the depression, anxiety, and all of that other stuff. So yeah, invest in yourself. Take a class.
Learn
some basket reading. Sit on somebody's couch.
Sit on somebody's
lap.
Here he goes with his lap dancing. All right, so this is has us come to the end of this podcast. We've talked about body augmentation, plastic surgery, cosmetic surgery, the norms, I guess, and what has been trending in the African American community And I think the consensus is for Mark, self-love. Sheneka is to do whatever makes you happy. And I think I concur with Sheneka in regards to you only live once. So whatever that is, make the best of it. Okay. Anything else that we have to close out on?
Yeah, I ain't plugging my social media. I don't
Go
have
ahead.
no followers nowhere for nothing.
Okay, Mark. Go
So
ahead.
y'all can definitely holler at me at Mark Anthony on Facebook, Measure of a Man on Instagram. That shit, I need way more people.
Measure of a Man
I need,
on
yeah,
Facebook.
Measure
Are
of
you
a
on
Man.
Instagram?
Oh, yeah, that's Instagram. I'm
Okay.
sorry. My Instagram is Measure of a Man.
Okay.
I tweet, but only to complain to companies so I can get refunds.
Got you.
So
I
ain't giving
love
it
that
out.
logic.
That's just some guy though. JUSSUMGEYE.
Love that logic. Okay. Again, thanks for tuning in today, and we will definitely be back with more.
What's up with the sexy voice?
That's that
Night.
wine he gave me.
This at night, I'm done.
But we'll be back with more topics and more discussion. So thanks again for tuning in today. Peace.